Hello, my dear Gemini. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between November 1st and November 15, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I now use the Spellcaster's Tarot with Melanie Marquise, illustrated by Scott Murphy. And I will start shuffling your cards. Oh, a little bit protective there. I call the divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Gemini viewers. So I want my dear Gemini to have love in their lives. And to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, my dear Gemini, I also want to take the chance to tell you about the Taurus full moon, the 4th of November. Sun have moved out of Libra the 22nd of October and into Scorpio. Mars and Venus is also in Libra after their kiss in Virgo. That happened the 10th of October. We have a 9 of coins, a 2 of wands, and a 3 of wands. 9 of coins is kind of a singles card. 2 of wands is like waiting for the right moment, and here is the right moment. So whatever you do, whatever you are planning to do, it seems like it's the right moment, okay? So where were I? Venus is leaving Mars behind and moving into Scorpio November 8. Jupiter and Venus is conjunct on the 13th of November in Scorpio, and Jupiter moved over to Scorpio from Libra the 11th of October. We will have the new moon also in Scorpio November 18. Mercury moves from Scorpio to Sagittarius the 5th of November. And Sun moves from Scorpio to Sagittarius November 22nd. Saturn is moving direct in Sagittarius, and we will have a conjunction of Saturn and Mercury on the 28th of November. Pluto is moving direct in Capricorn, and Neptune is moving retrograde in Pisces, but will station November 23rd and move direct November 24th. Uranus is moving retrograde in Aries. Okay, so I will just tune into your reading a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Gemini, this is your future. This is your now, and this is your past. So the past is probably October. The present, first part of November 2017. And your future, second part of November going into December. So you can watch this now, and it's a forecast. You can also watch it when like in the beginning of November when this is on, and you can also watch when this is over, like in the 15th, 16th of November, to look back. And first, you might not recognize what I'm talking about, and some of you will. There might have been a longer cycle with the same kind of thing that you have been working on, but remember, it's a forecast, so you are pre-warned and you can be guided to take the best steps possible. And here we have a 9 of Cups, and it's actually a Gemini in the picture, not a twin Gemini, but a spirit Gemini. So someone that can makes your wish come true. 9 of Cups also came for Libra and some of the other astrological signs. 9 of Cups means that you got a wish fulfillment, or that you are finding out what your wishes are and you're asking the divine for it, or you're starting to aim towards it. The trick is to dream your dreams but not get attached to them. So you dream your dreams and then you see whatever comes back to you, but you can just continue dreaming, you know. Don't run after your dream and try to chase it and grab it and force it to come into your life. Be a little bit more cool with it. And also with the Nine of Cups, it's like, be careful for what you wish for, but because it might come true, and you might not have thought it through. Okay, here we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant in this Spellcaster's Tarot is very, very square. He's very much about authority and power and having subordinate people that he can feel powerful over. So it's probably a picture of our current culture, where we have a patriarchal system where one rules over the other, or the rich and mighty are ruling the more poor people that has lesser resources. We can see here that the female in this picture, green, she has a moon hidden behind her back, and this red creature actually has a tail. So it's talking also about human, like our needs and our animalistic sides, that the Hierophant here, he wants to control it. It's very much about control here. You can see the square he has here, his square face, the square throne, the square buildings. Everything is very controlled. We are living in an age that's rather square. Also the architecture has become very square and dull. It's not really beautiful anymore. And this it might be talking about someone wanting power or desiring power or want to overindulge in power. It might also talk about like you love someone from a different culture than you, and that might be a problem. Or maybe you want something that has to do with family, society, marriage, traditions, things like this. We will see where it goes. Also, you can see that he's trying to be very white, but he has like a rather profound shadow behind him here. The next card is the Nine of Pentacles that fell out of the deck. So Nine of Pentacles here, it's like you want to be a singles person, like a person that has their things together. You have Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Nines are connected to the Hermit, Virgo. This is High Priest, it's Taurus. So it's very spiritual in a sense, but it's spiritual in the sense that it's very controlled. It's easy to be spiritual when you're alone and you're not meeting other people and not fraternizing with your own shadow. It's also very easy to be spiritual when no one is questioning your beliefs, and you can kind of go on believing whatever it is that you want to believe, and everyone has the right to their belief system. But I sense like a not so openness to new ideas here, especially with the hood above the little squirrel's head. Squirrels are collectors. They are scared for the future a little bit. They have this mania. They want to collect things, pile things up so they feel safe. So I can imagine that all of this is about feeling safe, withdrawing from people, living alone, maybe with very high moral values, and so like a person that has heightened themselves to a certain level, and it's like they're not fraternizing with other people. They just look down, and maybe with a little bit of distaste in their mouth. So maybe you're dealing with a person that's has a little bit of a blown up ego. It's not because they are evil or bad. It's just because they want to have control. They might be a little bit fearful. Okay, they might be a little bit insecure. So they're trying to put themselves in a safe position. So if you encounter someone that's very detached and hard to get to know and all this, you need to understand that they are probably like not the bravest person you have ever met. They are probably very like in their comfort zone, don't want to go out and meet other people and risk having some encounter, conflict, or discussion. Hermit usually goes away from society and the high priest, the Hierophant, to do a little bit of revolution. But with the Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles, it's the feminine part of the Hermit, like the one that you nurture yourself, you don't starve yourself, and it's not like the dark night of the soul. It's more like being alone and being rather comfortable. So I think that this hermit is starting to become a Hierophant, like starting to be a little bit crystallized in their beliefs. The next card we have, it's a King of Cups, so that's the King of Hearts. That's a very different energy to this very controlled energy of the three previous card. This is more about love, and it's more flowing, it's more feminine, it's more fluid and emotional. This King of Cups, he's more brave because he is not afraid of random happenings or dangerous feelings, or yes, he's a little bit more risky. Usually this is a Scorpio, and we're actually entering soon the Scorpio time here this year. And here we also have death. So death is of course necessary in a very stale environment like this might be. So, and King of Cups and death is actually both Scorpio. So this with Scorpio really means something to you, Gemini. I know that this is in the past, so it's about October, but it's like you are preparing for the Scorpio age. It might be this also, you have had Jupiter has been in an air sign. All air signs are connected, so it has been in an air sign and it has went over to Scorpio. It might mean that your power structure as an air sign might be like a little bit shaken. Okay, and we also have Pluto, that's a part of this assembly. Pluto is actually in Capricorn, if I remember correctly. Yes, and Pluto is death, and a Capricorn is something very stable. It's something, it's like work, like the squirrel do, work a lot, get a lot of money, pile it up, be safe, do good, have high moral standard, don't stick up your nose, don't do anything irrational, don't think outside the box, just do your job. And here comes death. It's very revolutionary, it's very rebellious, it's Scorpio transformation. It wants to see something else. It wants to see some kind of change, big change in your life. If you have either you or someone else is very square and protective, and they are challenged to go outside their comfort zone and find their beating heart and do something that's a little bit dangerous, like that could risk your current life, some kind of sacrifice, doing something. It's actually being close to death might make you feel more alive. This is a little bit a dull situation, to be honest. It's a little bit like a deserty period, living in Askies, like very maybe silent, values of silent and chastity and not eating, and like eating but in very moderation, and well, we need someone to stir around the pot, and it seems like Scorpio will do the job. So that was in the past, and here we have the now. So when the hangman comes together with death, the divine really means serious business. Okay, the hangman is like you're asked to let go of your previous, like something in your previous lifestyle, like something that made you a little bit dull, a little bit too conformative, or like too stale. You need you need some something that stirs up. So you see 12, the Hangman, and 13, Death. So we are actually counting backwards, and the next would be 11, Justice. So what we are seeing here is that your very controlled lifestyle is challenged because you need to get access to your beating heart. You need to get access to the spiritual realm of you that's not well organized. Here everything is upside down. This tree is supposed to be like this. The roots are here, but this Hangman is hanging upside down, you see, against gravity also. Uh, so it's really like Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. And it looks a little bit like an Iron Maiden, but also like a stray jacket. And not only a jacket, it's a whole jumpsuit and being really restrained here. But it's if you feel stuck in a certain life situation, it's probably because you have failed to see something that's really important. And I hope we will be able to reveal what that might be. So, next card, the Devil. The Devil, yes, okay, it comes underneath the Hierophant. So when we're trying to be good, we're trying to avoid problems. What we're really avoiding is like a big chunk of ourselves that being put in the shadows. And when it's put in the shadow like this, it will control us from there. It's not gone. It's just like having a backseat driver, okay, that yells to you and disturbs your driving. So what you really need to do is to reconnect with your shadow. They can't be this controlled thing. It's never going to work. It's like you have a certain need. Maybe you're wishing for something here, and that wish, you see here, it's 9 of Cups. That's about emotional needs. The Devil is often about needs that has been denied, so they have become distorted. Like if you are not able to feel your feelings or share your feelings or connect with other people, you might turn to a drinking habit, for example. There's a lot of different addictions. You can be addicted of buying shoes or talking on your mobile phone or social media or drugs, sex, alcohol. There's a lot of things, food. So it seems like you have replaced one need with another, and that other need is not a true need. So you need to dig deeper into what you really need, because this controlled environment that you're living in or someone that you know are living in is not healthy, not for you, not for them. And we can also see this, the masculine entity here is actually having this tail and the coloration of a little bit of a demon. So it's like a person trying to deny that this is a demon, and he's trying to deny it. No, I'm good. I'm like you. I'm very square. And really they are not. So you're trying to fit in into a situation that's not truly for you. It's like you're thinking, if I need to be this guy instead of the guy that I am or the girl that I am, because that's the right thing to do. Really, this is a control system to make people obedient and like good slaves working in the factory. If you were connecting to your true sides, you might become like a person that wants to do some craft with your hand and maybe just work, 3 hours a day. Maybe you like to be on the beach more. Maybe you like to be with your children more. Maybe you like to have more parties, like having an inn in your neighborhood where everyone could meet and play games maybe, and also the children could be there because no one would have an addiction, because no one is hiding their shadow, so they are not over drinking or overindulging. They are healthy. So King of Cups is about health. It's about becoming whole. No one can touch a person that is whole because he has no wound, and you have a big wound because you don't like yourself, or someone in your surrounding really doesn't like themselves. They think that they are not worth loving, that there's something wrong with them. So they're trying to behave and be something that they are not, and therefore there's coming addictions here. So, okay, interesting. The next card, really central, is the Judgment Day. So it's kind of time to take off that veil that the very controlled little squirrel has over its head. It's the apocalypse. I'm so sorry. The veil is falling. The illusions are falling. You're starting to see the truth. It's also trial by fire. So, of course, connected to hell and the devil and stuff as well. But it's trial by fire. So it will... Pain is psychological pain is actually a doorway down to what you have lost here. You have lost some soul parts that need to be resurrected. Think like this. If you are in a society where you need slaves, you don't want anyone to think for themselves. So you teach people to not think for themselves, and you are not allowed to think for yourself. So all your, extraordinary thinking, it's down here in the shadow, and you don't tell people what you're thinking, because then they might think that you're crazy. And here you're asked by the divine to start thinking creatively again. Start to be more creative in your thinking. Start to think outside the box. The box that the Hierophant has here. Instead of being slave, you are now becoming like your own authority. So this is good. Okay, this is very good. You don't have to be a demon anymore. Okay. Yes, and here comes strength. So, what was I saying? This out of the box thinking, you being like maybe a little bit rebellious against authority, maybe not wanting to be slave in a factory, but actually being with your kids and what I said. So here you're actually doing it. This is the soul that has gone down in the body. So you're not like a little insect anymore. You're a lion. You have become like something that can roar, something that has authority. And also lions are known to have a big heart. And what do we have here? The big-hearted man. It's like the masculine is waking up and becoming more brave with their honest feeling. And they don't have to drink and, have this addiction, because they are actually allowed to have tears. They are allowed to have feelings. They are allowed to be alive, fully alive. This is lust, and this is a man of heart. So it's very passionate as well. Yes, passionate, really living. Next card is the Six of Cups. So death and Six of Cups. It might be that you have lost someone special. When you miss something, it sometimes turns out to be a certain someone. There might be a king of your heart, or maybe your heart is beating for a certain queen, or so this is reconciliation, something that you really like felt deeply for was gone, and now it's resurrected. It's much like what the Judgment card says here. It's a resurrection of something old. Six of Cups is also the childhood card. So if you were very well raised in your childhood and became very square, you're not that anymore. It's like you have called back your spirit, your child spirit, like the one that you were when you came. So this is very healthy. This is very good. You're doing the right thing. You might feel crazy, and this is not at all like me. And I got really upset with the man in the store yesterday. And when I called the bank, you might be a little bit afraid of your new self. But it's just, it's a little bit shaky when it tries out its new legs. But it will turn out just fine. Okay, I hope so anyway. So next card for you, Gemini. This is your future. This is your now, the first half of November. Here we're going into the second half, and we have a Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is like a masculine part of you, meditating on their feelings, their true feelings, true needs. This is 12, so it's connected to number 3, the Empress. So we have a kind of a feminine hermit energy here, like a very your needs, okay, your body, it has needs, and this Gemini wants to fulfill those needs. And here it's the 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. It's connected to the Empress and being pregnant, like being ready to birth for the new. And the new, it seems to be a new masculine identity for the masculine side of you. Really listening to your feelings, not avoiding them, not saying no thank you, I will never ever cry, or saying no thank you, I'm not an emotional person. Here is actually you getting very close to your emotions, staying with them, because there's nothing else to do. You have those needs and you are in a sticky situation, like stuck between a rock and a hard place, so it's nothing you can do. You might have lost the love of your life here. And then the Four of Cups, feeling this, like really savor this, and not resisting it. Everything you resist persists. So you just accept whatever is inside of you. And this is a healing action, okay? It will be good. And it's the 3 here also. So it's connected to the ancestors, like your ancestral karma. Not everything is like you haven't done this. You are just here to fix it. It's your ancestors that start to, you know, start drinking and stop crying. So they did that choice because of outside pressure, and now you are inside pressured to open up again. So you are here to fix the thing. It's not you're not to blame, and not them either. They were also stuck between a rock and a hard place. They were trying to survive. So next card here is the Sun, and this Sun card is very much like Gemini. We can see those 2 twins here, and the Sun is usually connected to Leo, so someone of you might be involved with a Leo, have a Leo person in your life, Scorpio, Capricorn also, very obvious, Taurus with the High Priest there. So this is your awareness that comes out of your feelings. When you start to accept them and see them and not avoid them, that is when you start to become enlightened. You start to become aware. You start to become a light, a shining light in a dark world, okay? So this is very good. This is very prosperous. This is your soul. It's making its way through here. And that is very hopeful for all of humanity. So the next card is the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is connected to 5 Taurus. Like either you're with us or you're against us. And we can see that one of the lads here, he has taken off his blindfold, and he's not like hitting the piñata anymore, because he sees that it's a little bit stupid. So he doesn't want to compete. He doesn't want to be in conflict. He has found like a more still way of doing things, just looking. And it might be also what you need to do. I think there's a little bit internal conflict within your soul and your ability to take care of yourself. You want peace and quiet, and your soul doesn't. It wants you to get out there and, you know, do your thing, do your mission. And there's a better way to do this than what you have done before. So you don't have to be so scared of mixing yourself with people, because you are going to be stronger this time, and you are not going to sell yourself, but you're going to be more open and honest. With the 5 of Wands here, it might be that some part of you is not on board with all this. It still wants to stay in its comfort zone, and you have learned to become very highly developed on your own. But it's only working when you're on your own. So you don't want to be with other people. You don't want to go into have to be with other people. Hell is other people, okay? So this is your next challenge. You can't be enlightened on your own. You need to go out and fraternize with the enemy. That's your shadow. That's the side of you that still needs to be seen. So awareness, stillness, but still like mixing yourself into the game. And here we have, yes, the Temperance card. So this is the Temperance card. This is how Temperance card looks in real life. Temperance is number 14. 1 plus 4 is what? It's 5. The High Priest. So 14 is when two different cultures meet. If we say those two cultures are meeting, and they think they are so unlike each other. One is talking about high moral standards, and the other one is talking about whip and well, both have the whip. Actually, one is not so much a whip. Okay, something else. They are very like each other. So this is what's striking me. But if you think about devil worshipper and church, on the surface, they are not like each other. Underneath the surface, they are exactly the same. So here, two cultures meeting. What can come out of this? It's indicated that it's going to be something good. But yes, at least I get a little bit shivering. The 19 Sun here, this is actually the highest card for love in the whole deck. And this is the second highest card. This first we have the Lovers, number 6. You have the 6 of Cups here, so it's tied to the Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. That's when you meet. And you feel like, oh God, I have known this person from before, because you have some past life experience and there's instant attraction. But what you are really attracted of is your own shadow. Like you see something that you can learn from this person. And first you are attracted and everything is lovey-dovey. And then the Alchemist. It looks like a peaceful card, yes. But what it really is when your demons starts to play so well with one another. This is an angel, this is a demon. They have different cultures. And what happens when these different cultures meet? 3 months into the relationship, you start doing this. You start combating and saying like, my idea is better than yours. We need to have my TV, it's bigger, okay? And it's like this. And then we have the Sun card. That is when you have become whole, when you actually have learned all about this other culture and become like them in half of you, and half of you is still you. And that is when you have become a whole person and you can connect with the other person in holy matrimony. Think this, like one person here needs to get a heart. The other one needs to become more logic. In the end, both will have a heart and both will be logic. So win-win, okay? So this is here to make a win-win. It's not here to ruin your day, okay? It's here to make you see something. And it's very, very much attraction here. It's very much love. So you might feel very drawn to a certain someone. There might be a karmic issue with the 8 and the 6 of Cups here, and but probably it's like a higher, it's like your spiritual sadhana, like a relationship that's for your highest spiritual growth. It will be difficult, but it will be worth it. And it doesn't have to be love. It can be other things as well that's making you very creative and full of life and ideas and those things. And the last card here we have Justice. I mentioned Justice before. 13, 12, 11. Justice is it's a gateway. You won't be able to pass before her before you have learned everything of good and evil, before you have become like both of those worlds, both of these worlds, like the white here and the black there. So both needs to be there for you to be able to move on. Then you're whole, then you're done. Then you have done this, you have resolved your karma. Either you are too wimpy and giving yourself up, or you're too hard and not having a heart, which it is, it's up to you to decide. On the pillars here, we can see one person is like a warrior, stealing other people's lives, goods, stuff, whatever. And this side is more like a farmer that makes things grow, harmony and fertility. So this is life and this is death, we can say. And both needs to be in balance. So in other case, you will end up like this, like the Hierophant. pretending you're all light, but really you are very, very dark. You just can't see it yourself. It's very hard to see like the log in your own eye. But here you see it, and you accept both sides of you, and you are becoming whole. So that's the end game of this, Gemini. You are supposed to become whole. So how do you become whole here? Well, you do like this. You accept everything that's inside of you. Everything. Also this, that's a contradiction. You might love a person, but you can't be with them because they have some kind of addiction, and since you don't want to be a codependent, you need to be on your own, but you hate to be on your own because it's super boring, and also you can't evolve spiritually. So you let everything be there in the same time. Like, yes, you can't stand being with them, but you love them, and this is how it is. So you just accept whatever you find inside of you. Self-acceptance with the sun here. The sun is your attention, it's your love. Whatever you give attention, you also give it love. If you give attention to your children, you put down the mobile phone, you look them in the eye, that's love. When you give yourself attention, like wherever it hurts or wherever it's a problem, you just stay with it and just see it. That is also love, self-love. And this is going to fix itself all right, but it seems peaceful enough, but it will probably sting a little bit because you're supposed to, you know, totally change your half of your MO and become like the other party, like the person in your life that really makes you really, really angry or sad or whatever. You're supposed to learn from this person. So for example, as what I said, if you have forgotten that you have a heart, the other person will show you where your heart is. If you have forgotten to protect yourself and be logic, the other person will force you to become, like, protect yourself and become logic. So this is just one game. There's so many. Here you see death, resurrection, like meeting again. You died from each other, you meet again, that's a big deal. And here's 11, justice. So there's some old karma between you two that needs to be solved. And it might feel unjust in this life, but in the big grand scale of things, you will have leveled out the karma. So be the first one to say that you're sorry, even if it's not your fault. And I don't mean that you should go and say you're sorry to a perpetrator. So say you're sorry to yourself, that you put yourself through this because you didn't know any better. Okay. So it's about taking responsibility for whatever is the best way to deal with just your situation from a higher point of view. Okay, so justice. Justice will fall out to the person's favor that is the most willing to do the work. 8 and justice is often very, very closely related. Being strong, like emotionally mature, grounded is a good. It's a good foundation for justice. Okay. So I will take some cards for you from the astrology reading cards by, see here, I never remember this name, Alison Chester Lambert. It's a very beautiful name, but I'm very bad with names. And I haven't practiced, so that's the problem. Because just out of a whim, I decided to use this deck in my journals. I usually only use it in my personal readings that I do. So some of you might be dealing with a Leo or a Virgo. You have 9-9 that's connected to the Hermit here, and but it's probably more talking about what you need to accomplish. So Leo, the energy is flamboyant, dramatic, ground, proud and passionate. It focuses on the importance of self-belief. And we see this with, for example, this card, that it's like what you think is your worst trait might be your greatest asset, actually. So don't be afraid of the Leo king in you. And also we have Virgo, that's more modest. The energy around you is beautiful. hesitant and humble, with a discriminating, diligent, and painstaking air. So I think that we have those. This is the duality. It's not this with logic and heart maybe so much. That might be one part of it, but the other part is like being humble and believing in yourself. In Sweden we have not something that calls jante. It's a jante law. Like, you are not supposed to be better than anyone else. You need to keep your head down, not go around thinking that you are someone. So you might be affected by jante, okay? That you're not allowed to shine. You're not allowed to be in your best, like show yourself in the best light or do a really good performance, because you're supposed to keep your head down and fit in. It might also be the other way around. Maybe you don't want to shine bright or, you know, be a rock star or whatever. You just want to do your everyday thing because that's make you feel like most harmonious. It might be a very good when I do everyday chores like this, I fall into a rather pleasant meditative state, like fixing for the horses or working in the garden. That's a really lovely state. So it might be like this is your light and your shadow, and both are part of you. So both needs to be like have their place with you. And I will also take a card from the Oracle of Visions, that one. So it seems like you have the key to your own problem. Like you can unlock your own box and free yourself from whatever sadness that has been with you before. Here. It's some kind of sacrifice that might have made you a little bit bitter. And it seems like you have the key to fix the problem, maybe with a say I'm sorry kind of thing. And also I will take a card from the Vibrational Energy Oracle card with Debbie A. Anderson. See what we have, like a message for Gemini. Oh, okay, that one. An open book. So that sounds very promising for you. You regard life as an ever-revolving door of opportunities and adventure. Taking on whatever is sent your way, you adapt and modify to the vibration with ease and acceptance. When change arrives, you embrace it and look forward to the new learning and transformation that comes with it. You interact, learn, engage, and change. Kudos to you. So this is the kind of Leo energy, like being ready for whatever happens, and life is an adventure. And then we have, for those of you that felt like, no, that's not me, that's more your energy, the Virgo energy. Okay, so you're supposed to have balance between the Virgo and the Leo energy, like being well organized and, you know, saving for a rainy day and getting more life into your life and doing some adventure, okay? So, my dear Gemini, I hope this helped. It was a really nice reading. It was one of the better this month, since the others sun signs or astrological signs seems to be in a midst of some kind of lover's war. It might be that you are also in this threshold, but it looks like you're not doing something destructive. It seems like you are trying to learn, so that's very good. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will come back in the beginning of November for my late November reading. Okay, bye bye.